What is going on, my friends? I want to thank you for stopping by. You got Stercules here. And I'm doing a little bit of catch up today because, as you can probably see, I haven't uploaded videos in a hot minute in any way, shape, or form. There are a lot of future videos I'm wanting to make, but I kind of lately have just felt burnt out on competitive draft Pokemon content. We are going to talk about that a little. First off, I just want to tell you where I've been. I've just been kind of busy, haven't really had the time or really the will to make videos lately, so I just figured I'd do a quick catch-up video and then show you the video I had planned for today. So I'm in the PGO, and I'm trying to make a playoff run. Up until this point, I've been 4-1, and so I've got 3 regular season games. Then we're going to show whether or not we made the playoffs and go forward from there. But frankly, I've just been busy with a lot of other things. I'm a huge sports nerd, so I've been playing a lot of pickleball, been playing a lot of basketball, picked up a new hobby, been playing a lot of disc golf. So I've been trying to be outside a lot, man. I love this warm weather, trying to be active, trying to get healthier, lose some pounds, man. So that's been kind of cool. It's been something I've been enjoying, been trying not to be inside playing video games or anything like that quite as much. I've still made the time to do these matches, and it's still overall always an enjoyable experience. On top of that, always obviously spending time with my lovely wife and been busy with work type stuff. So it's just been a busy past few weeks, and I can't say I've been really too busy to upload. It's just on top of what I've already been doing. I just really haven't had the will to upload. I think I needed a break, and that kind of brings me to the next thing. Pokemon, or competitive Pokemon, I don't know what its future is on the channel. I enjoy doing it and making the videos, but at the same time, sometimes if I'm just too competitive or too into it, I just haven't been having as much fun lately. I haven't had the motivation lately for team building, for just putting my best into things. So that's kind of made me less interested in making the content. Not necessarily to say like, oh, he's doing bad, so he doesn't want to do it, but just like if the passion starts to go away, why make a video? By the way, I've got my camera funny, so if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera, it's because it's turned funny. No big deal. I do want to keep making videos on the channel. I love having a Pokemon YouTube channel. I think I'm going to just do more of other stuff. I know it's a small channel and it's not about views, it's about having fun, but at the same time, when I upload a competitive Pokemon video and it gets 5 views, and then when I upload like a fun video about opinions or theories or anything like that, and it gets anywhere from like 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 times as many views, which still isn't a lot, but it just shows that more people are interested in that. So that's more opportunities to connect with people over something I'm passionate about. So I'll probably be trying to make just some more fun type of videos like that. MPDL Season 9 is about to start. I probably will at least make a video showing my team and my nicknames just because that's always fun. And who knows, I might get hit with the bug and I might decide I do want to upload. And I promise it's not just going to be based on how well am I playing. It's going to be, is it something I'm going to enjoy doing? Is it something that's worth the time that I have? I might even just do a recap every few weeks. Who knows? So I really don't know what the future is going to be. I know that's not that big of a deal. Small channel, not a whole lot of people missing it, but just a quick little update to catch up on the PGO. Like I said, going into this, I think I was 4-1, top in the league, very good differential. Only loss was to good friend BB. Never sad about losing to him. So we're going to catch up on these 3 battles. I do have to say ahead of time, in the most respectful way possible. This is, no matter what happens this season, probably even if they would have had me, I don't think I'm going to be staying in the PGO for another season. I love the MPDL. I'm always going to have time for that. Might try to, in the future, do some other leagues. And I've enjoyed getting to know some of the other coaches, and it's always fun battling. But this just hasn't been a league I'm really interested in being a part of after this, though I'm excited to see how this season ends out and really just kind of how it's ran. And I don't want to say it's ran bad, just differences in opinion of how things should be run. I've been in a few other leagues and was good friends with the people in charge, and I thought they ran things really well and respected it. And I just have had a different experience here. First off, one of these battles that I had to play, I shouldn't have had to play it, and that sounds silly to say, but when it comes down to it in a draft league, there's always rules, and some of the rules are that you need to communicate with your opponent. I had an opponent that did not communicate with me, and in their prior 2 weeks, they'd not communicated with the coaches they were supposed to face, and those coaches were given a forfeit win for that. And when I put in that I'd not been communicated with at all, that I had a busy schedule, and if we got a new coach, I didn't think I'd have time to squeeze 2 battles into a week, so I wanted to claim a forfeit win. I was denied that, saying they didn't want to give, essentially, they didn't want to give the replacement coach that extra loss, despite the other ones being given those losses, and they said each situation's different, even though it was the same situation. I understand if someone has to drop a league because of real-life stuff, that's more important, but I was treated differently from what other coaches had been given. That made me mad. We actually had another coach the very next week drop, and they just went ahead and had those last 2 matches be forfeited. So we had 5 matches that could have been forfeited this season. 4 of them were, and I just so happened to play the one that was not granted a forfeit win. Didn't think that was fair. There was other stuff that happened. I know there was 2 coaches that in one match both got kind of cheated out because the mods did not update the roster changes that were made for a team, and so one guy had to play against a team with mons that he was not expecting to face, and then one guy, because of that, he got the win, and the match was just nullified. So one guy got a win taken away, and one guy had to play an unfair match. Once again, just because things weren't ran well, or there wasn't very good communication or organization, and even with, I don't want to say whose, but everyone who had a playoff match in round 1 on the home screen of what they were to be prepping for. The wrong teams were listed because they did the seedings wrong, and everyone ended up playing the match that they were supposed to play, but prep was made a lot harder just because, once again, the organization was off. So differences in opinion, just haven't really loved how things were ran, but that's okay. I'm still getting to play Pokemon and play against some fun people. Everyone that I've played against has been real cool. So let's go ahead and hop into these matches. I'm going to do just really a quick catch-up on these, really mostly just because I'm not going to have just a ton of commentary, and there's more of a focus that I want at the end. So I'm going to put this on very fast and just kind of let it run, maybe say what's going on. But this team was very stacked. The point values in this league are very low, so pretty much every team is very stacked. I can't complain because I had the same opportunity and amount of points, but it's very hard to prep for a lot of teams when so many points are allowed. But once again, I was given that same thing, so we'll just go fast. So we're pivoting a lot. I lost Raichu to a Choice Banded Haxorus, expecting it to be a Dragon Dance variant, so killing Corviknight's going to be tough. I really don't have much on my team at all to be able to kill Chestnut, because they also had a Mungus on their team. Like I said, this team's stacked, and I prepped way more for a Mungus, so I did not have much for Chestnut here. So they also had a very good set where their defensive mons are just checking me, and then they have 4 just offensive absolute breakers that can come in. So hyper fast seems too fast. Fast doesn't seem fast enough. But basically, this is kind of just me struggling to kill their walls for most of the battle, and then I'm going to end up being taken out by their walls. Really, my opponent Falam just had much better prep than me for this match, and I just did not have a whole lot for their threats, and I kept getting predictions wrong. Like there, I wanted to click Gravity. Instead, I clicked Earth Power. His Steel type got in for free. So we see Mamo come in, and we see that it is Assault Vest, which is a very cool bring. Another problem being I needed Blastoise to check both Mamoswine and Haxorus. I didn't bring Quagsire in this match. Don't exactly remember why it was a few weeks ago. But as you can kind of just see, I will switch to Hyper Fast from here because there's not much I'm going to be able to do. So I just got outplayed here. Really not a big deal. This is a match I actually didn't mind losing so much in practice, because sometimes you just get outplayed and outprepped, and honestly that is fine. That's an okay way to lose. That means your opponent played well and had a very good team. But this match was essentially in the same week that I had to play the match that I should have had a forfeit win on. That Chris Body also stunk, but it wasn't the end of the world. They still won. So that was a frustrating thing, because I did not have near the time to put into prepping in this match, because I had to play 2 matches that week. I essentially got punished for my opponent not communicating with me at all. And I was told by the the main guy of the league that I should have had a team built anyway, but why waste time building a team when I'm not being communicated with, when I'm expecting to just get a forfeit win, and also when a team is dropped, they're able to make free agency transactions. So why would I build a team if the replacement coach may have had a different team? And so I just ended up having to play 2 matches in a week when I essentially did not have the time or desire to do so. So this comes up with me now playing against the team that, so at this point I'm 4-2. I've lost some differential. Obviously dropping down the rankings. I think I went from 1 to 2. Now I'm trying to hold on to that 2 and get a bye week. And we see I'm playing against a very good team. Now they did not make any changes to their roster, but I'm playing an entirely new coach that had been in the league. The other coach before having the few forfeits had a very great start to the league. And the difference is I was able to watch some of their battles and kind of get a guess on what their play style would be. And instead, not only do I not get a forfeit win, but I get to play against a coach with limited prep time, and I have no idea how they're going to play. So with that being said, they brought a lot of mons that I didn't expect because I didn't know this coach's play style or what to expect on who they'd bring. So I had a pretty good strategy, actually, where if I got up sticky webs and could outspeed, especially with like Low Pony and Raichu, I could go in on their team. But unfortunately, they brought Charger Bug, so they had webs too, and I did not have hazard removal in this game because I was not worried about rocks, and I did not expect Charger Bug to come. The other thing, at one point, I had Jirachi, and Jirachi was my Diancie check, and so I ended up deciding to bring something else over it, and then I realized I did not have a Diancie check on my team. Luckily, Lando lived 1 hit, but now it's very low on health. And its gravity strats were kind of important for this, so this was a very cool Komala set that once again, mon that I wasn't expecting. They had different things on their team that I would have expected, and good on them for bringing unpredictable sets, but also like, what am I supposed to do when a team gets brought that I wasn't expecting? So, or when I'm having to play against a coach I couldn't watch. So I know I'm being salty here. No one likes a complainer, but this was kind of the attitude I had when playing. Was like, it was just hard to care when I was just so frustrated with how things were being ran. And that is on me. Got to be better. Here, I was very surprised they were ready to let Komala go down, but it was a good play by them because then they got rid of Lando. And Venus could have just went off here had it not been for the webs. And also, the one time you ever want a high roll was here. A high roll could have taken me down to Sash, and then I would have killed with reversal. Instead, they got the one time you don't want a low roll. So that was just kind of funny. Like, it's not necessarily hacks. They got a low roll, which is usually a good thing. But that's the one time I wanted to be knocked down to my endure level so that reversal was 100 base power stronger. So from here, I just lose to Zera Aura. So outrage, I couldn't believe that. That was cool. But yeah. They had sticky webs that countered my sticky webs. That's why I lost. They played great, and this team's very good. I think they won their last 2 or 3 matches, however many they played. And so here I'll talk a little more about this match. I'm not going to pull up Teambuilder on any of these, though I will pull up the Teambuilder if I end up having a playoff match. I guess I kind of just spoiled that. But I'm trying to win this game to stay at a decent spot in the playoff standings. I've dropped down to 4-3. At this point, so I want to play well, and I think this person can pass me by beating me. So I've got my Chocolate Thunder on a balloon. Let's just go fast. Like I said, we're not going to go too much into it. I go into Quag, and unfortunately, no, never mind, that's not yet. So I make a double here expecting Grass Knot. Yeah, so this is a Choice Scarf Zarude. Take a lot, once again, I've been very reckless with Raichu this season. I've taken a lot of damage way too early. It's just so frail. It can't switch into really anything. Quagsire getting poisoned here was kind of a bummer because that's a 10% poison. You know, they're not running Sludge Bomb with that 30%. So it's going to be hard for me to stay healthy enough because it is very important that this is my Charizard check. So it's going to be very hard to do that. And of course I've got this popping up. And I ain't worried about it. I'm leaving that in. So, didn't have a whole lot for Comfey outside of just switching in Jirachi, but that did let something like Charizard come in for free. Now here, here's where this was a bummer. I'm unaware, so they can't Dragon Dance. So at this point, I could have just kept clicking recover because I even live a Dragon Claw. But because of the poison, I can't do that because it's going to keep putting me in the range of a high roll on Dragon Claw. So I just had to click Earthquake here. I could have kept recovering and then clicking Earthquake, and I wouldn't been able to 1v1 this. Instead, now I have to unveil that I'm Choice Scarf to be able to keep that Charizard from sweeping there. So that was kind of a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. There is still a chance. If I can get Chip on Urshifu, and if I can get Slowking worn down a little bit, Blastoise can actually win with Shell Smash. So I've ran defensive Blastoise all season, decided to run Shell Smash this week, and actually had a decent matchup if I just could have gotten the right chip. But really they did well preserving the mons they needed to preserve. So we see this isn't Rocky Helmet. What do I run on Jirachi? So at this point, are we running fast? Yeah. Just trying to wear things on his team down. I think I take some pretty big damage here. Never mind. That's later. So we lose our Scarf, which isn't the worst thing, but also kind of nice to have. So we get off the Nuzzle. I was hoping they'd go. Really, I guess Nuzzle helped on anything, getting the para. I really don't have a whole lot of commentary. Kind of just waiting for the point I was talking about. We'll go hyper fast till we get to Blastoise. So really just a whole lot of us not being able to do much to each other in a lot of situations. Gonna take a huge... Never mind, that's later on. I don't remember this as well as I'm thinking. So yeah, there we go. Take a pretty big amount of damage there. Didn't need the Okabera, obviously. That was actually kind of a weird bring. So here is where things get kind of dicey. So Skarmory, even with Power Up Punch, is not going to be in range of a close combat. In fact, I think that was a max roll to get it to 2. So, but here I can go into Blastoise, set up a Shell Smash. I do get Toxic, that's not a big deal. So I can go ahead and kill the Skarmory. So now I just need to be able to kill these two things. So earlier on in the battle, I had Mega Lopunny in, and I figured he was Choice Scarfed. So I clicked Fake Out to get some damage. And actually, if they would have stayed in like I thought they would, because I thought they'd know they'd outspeed, and I couldn't kill with Quick Attack, I thought they would come in and just kill with Close Combat to get Lopunny out of the way. Them switching actually made me wonder if it wasn't. It was Choice Scarfed. So if I would have gotten that Fake Out damage, I think Hydro Pump would have had a good chance to kill here. We could have chipped down Slowking, and then Jirachi would have beat it. But since they were smart and preserved the health on Urshifu, we're not able to get it high enough. It would have been close. Maybe we wouldn't have killed it, but it would have been very close. But anyway, it's able to pick up that last kill. So we do lose a very close game, a 2-0. And now I can kind of go ahead and show you the standings where we ended for the season. So as you can see here, if you were in the green, you got yourself a bye week. And if you were in the yellow, you did still make the playoffs. So we just barely finished out and made the playoffs here. 4-4 plus 6. Not great when you're 4-1 with an almost plus 15 or higher differential at the top of the league. Would have been sitting at 5-1, and with a better attitude, I think I could have at least split those last few games and stayed high. But hey, I let my attitude get the best of me, and so I dropped down to 4-4. Like I said, they messed up the scheduling. I almost had to play BB. That wouldn't have made sense of 5-6 and 3-4 playing each other. They got it fixed, even though it was not fixed on our home pages. So BB played the Spine-Chilling Gengar, and then for the playoffs, I'm going to play the Kinky Kartanas, who just beat me. That's the team we just played. So we get a rematch, which was kind of funny. And the coach was a really nice person, so it was exciting to get to play them again. And then these two teams are going to get a bye. So depending on what happens, if BB were to beat the Spine-Chilling Gengar and we won, then we would be the higher remaining seed, so we'd play the Charlotte Mega Hornets. If the higher seed, the Chilling Gengar, win, they play the Mega Hornets, and if we win, we'll play the Bilbao Bidoof, if that's how it's said. Both really good teams with hard preps that both beat me within the last few weeks. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at our matchup here. So we're going to go right into this playoff match. That's kind of the big thing I was wanting to talk about. So real quick, let's change our, let's pull this up. Here we go. So let's just take a look at our build real quick, and then we'll hop into things. So I know this is kind of a longer video, but this is just kind of a catch-up. I was kind of thinking about just showing the scores, but I figured I should show a quick thing of the battles here. And here I'll actually just show the full battle. Like I said, making this a longer video, I will have timestamps, but let's go ahead and pull these over. First up, we got Quaggatha with the Rocky Helmet. Now, Quaggatha and Blaster Oogway I'm going to try to talk about together. Blastoise and Quagsire were both really nice because Quagsire kind of wanted to be a check to Mega Charizard X and to Urshifu Rapid Strike, and so I couldn't really have it do both. It can't be Unaware and Water Absorb. So I wanted to bring Assault Vest Blastoise as well, because then Blastoise could kind of take hits from a special attacker, but it could also help be a pretty nice switch into Urshifu or Charizard also. Pivot around, hit things with Earthquakes for something like Slowpoke Galar, Rapid Spin and Scald just for, you know, the tech you'd expect it to be. Almost ran Toxic on Quagsire, but if there were a situation where they thought I could have been Water Absorb for Urshifu, I wanted to have Encore in case I got in a situation where Charizard tried to set up in front of me. I could Encore it and it would keep clicking Dragon Dance, then I could kill it with Earthquake, or just with anything else like that that would want to set up. I could go ahead and Encore them into a move. I thought that could be kind of useful, though Toxic may have been just as useful. I had a tough time deciding where to go, but as you can see, they're both very physically defensive. Brought another very physically defensive Mon and Fox, the Phoenix, aka the Moltres, with heavy-duty boots. Surprise, surprise, lots of HP and defense and a little special attack. Flamethrower, U-turn, Roost, and Defog. So this was a really good switch in to Skarmory all day. I had something else that it was a pretty good switch into as well. But Roost just to roost off damage, Flamethrower to hit Skarmory hard. And on anything else, I was either going to Defog, try to get off hazards, or U-turn into something else on a prediction. And so then we get to kind of our offensive core, Orlando Calris, and as it's run so many times this season, it's running Gravity with Earth Power. And Earth Power hits everything on their team for huge damage other than like Umbreon and Thwackey. So, but Thwackey I'm not too worried about, just because I do have a good answer to it. And Moltres and Earth Power actually probably would have started doing quite a bit after it got worn down. So Rock Polish was to outspeed anything faster, like a Choice Scarf or a Shifu. Like, I think it would have outsped Regieleki, which didn't come. Big thing, it would have outsped Spectrier, and if like Charizard got up to +1, if we'd got up a Rock Polish, we'd be able to smack it with Earth Power with the Life Orb. But Focus Blast was for the Umbreon, and even a max HP and max special defense Umbreon would have taken like 60 to 70 something %. So that would have done a ton as long as Focus Miss landed. Then we got Venus, the Mega Lopunny with Lopunite. Kind of more of just a breaker this week, but I mean late game Power Up Punch and Quick Attack, or Power Up Punch, and I almost said Power Up Pinch. That'd be a funny move. And Close Combat could have done a lot. And then I really wanted to run Endeavor for if we were pretty low and Skarmory was there switch in, but I actually decided Facade was better because this was, it being a normal type, resisting both Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse. This was our Spectrier switch in. Seriously, they had Lando T, they had Spectrier or Shifu Rapid Strike, Mega Charizard X, Skarmory, Regieleki. This team was pretty busted, but we had Facade because Spectrier could Will-O-Wisp. And then lastly, we had Optimus Primate with leftovers and its only ability, Leaf Guard, with lots of HP, enough attack that we could boost up and do a lot of damage, and then enough speed to outspeed their Charizard or their Urshifu. So Power Whip and Darkest Lariat was all we decided we needed with Sub and Bulk Up. Got this idea for the Bulk Up set from my good friend Zach. He was thinking Jungle Healing would be good, but I decided Substitute was good because that way it could help us set up in case Umbreon or Skarmory wanted to try to Toxic us or something like that. The big goal was if Umbreon came, we could set up in front of it, and possibly even Skarmory, though really, in all reality, since Skarmory gets Bulk Up and Brave Bird, getting up a few Bulk Ups needed to kind of happen. So, but on just something that wasn't going to hit this very hard, if we could get behind a sub, get up a Bulk Up or two, we might actually be sitting pretty okay. So let's go ahead and just hop into the match here. So I've been doing this on light mode, dark mode. Can we see the battle okay? Sure, that's not bad. Okay, so let's just go ahead and hop in. I will pause and give some commentary here and there. But I started with Lando, so I'm just going to be safe and go right into my Rocky Helmet Mon. They Surging Strikes, so we're going to get 3 Rocky Helmet hits, and you'll love to see it. But I'm not feeling too awful safe yet because they do have Umbreon, which is a pretty good Wish Passer. So they go straight into Skarmory as I recover. So I'm going to go Moltres as they make a good double into Slowking, who does probably have some sort of fire coverage, I'm thinking. So I go ahead and U-turn out, get some chip so I can get a read. We do see the Flamethrower. This was a pretty early bummer. I misclicked here. So my thought was I wanted to go Blastoise, and then I wanted to immediately double into Lando because kind of the goal was to just keep getting Lando in, either click Gravity or Earth Power on a lot of things. And what happened was, I was thinking, okay, I'll go Blastoise, then I'll go Lando, and I left my cursor on Lando and I went into it. So I took 37 damage unnecessarily when I wanted to go into my Assault Vest Blastoise. We get frozen here, which is annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. I'll just click Scald so that I can be unfrozen, though I would have wanted to flip turn there. But that's okay, minor inconvenience. So now I can just flip turn on this. I can see, is Umbreon Rocky Helmet? It's not, so I just go Lopunny. Thinking there was a good chance it would Toxic. I thought this was my best thing to get Toxic because then at least, hey, Facade is powered up. Then we don't have to worry about something on its team. Possibly getting burnt by a Scald from Slowking, or does Slowking get Thunder Wave? Or does Skarmory? Something. I think Slowking might get Thunder Wave. I was very aware of that not wanting to happen. So I got Optimus Primate. They're not going to let that happen yet. So they go Skarm. Now I get to go Moltres. So now I'm a little scared here. I go straight into Quag. And we do see the Toxic, which is a really nice play because they knew this would be the switch like it was last time. Quagsire getting Toxic was not great. But we get the Scald burn. This is probably going to end up being the second biggest play of the game, that burn there. And I've been fishing for Scald burns all season. And the one time I remember getting one was the time I didn't want Scald to burn. So I was very happy about this. Like, I felt like in a lot of ways I've had some pretty bad luck this season. I just had that stupid misclick into a freeze. So I was very happy to get this 30% burn because now Skarmory's Body Press or Brave Bird is doing even less to Zarude. That makes Zarude a much bigger threat here. So I go Moltres again just to see what they want to do. They do Stealth Rock. Do I just defog right away? No, I clicked U-turn. So they were going to let me straight Flamethrower on this, but I guess they predicted me to overpredict, which was pretty good on their part. What do I do here? Do I just Rapid Spin? I do Rapid Spin. I want the rocks gone. And really just because I'm just trying to get reads at this point. Up until that burn, I didn't feel like things were going too well, but that burn helped. Here, I'm not feeling great. Umbreon's just going to protect. I'm just glad that they didn't go into Urshifu. I Power Up Punched in case they went Skarmory just so I could calc some damage. And I clicked Close Combat again just because I didn't know if they were going to try to get Urshifu in here for free. Probably wasn't a very smart play. But I can go straight into Blaster Oogway. We see Grass not doing a whole lot because of AV. We do go ahead and flip turn. We knew we were faster into Zarude. And here, things turn. The tides turn, baby. I felt like we'd been getting pretty well outplayed up till that point. And a few seasons ago, TPA finals against BB. I couldn't remember if it was BB or Cole. I felt like I'd had kind of a similar game. I felt like I'd been getting outplayed. And I had something that kind of felt like a win con, and I just had to find the right time to get it in. It was a Shell Smash Blastoise. This time, it was sub bulk up Zarude. I felt like if I could get this here, that I was going to win, and Zarude would just not leave the field and would win. But then I also felt like if I couldn't correctly get it up, that they were eventually going to wear me down. I didn't have hazards, and they're just Umbreon, Skarmory, and Slowking didn't want to die, and Urshifu and Charizard. And Thwackey honestly just could have done a lot of work from there. So on their Protect, or what I expected to be probably a Toxic, we do get up a sub. Here we get up a bulk up. I'm really interested to see what they do. They go Skarmory, which I kind of see what they're doing because, you know, Grass type, not doing a whole lot. And, you know, our raw Darkest Lariat is not doing a lot. But now they have to be able to break this sub, and they can't because not only are they burnt, we're at +2. So I just kind of get to keep bulking up. I'm behind a sub, feeling pretty good about things. They still have not broken sub. At this point, Do I click bulk up again? I do. And I believe here they're finally going to break with body press. But no matter what, if they stay in or switch, we get a free substitute off, which is really nice. We can start getting leftover recovery back. And they go Urshifu, and we're going to find out, are they for sure scarfed? And we see they are. We pretty much knew they were with their willingness to attack Lando Calrissian, because if this was a not bulk invested Urshifu, and Earth Power just straight killed it, and I think they probably knew I was going to be Life Orb. So we see the U-turn. It's going to break sub, and I actually kind of made a mistake here. I just really wasn't thinking. I clicked Lariat. It was okay to kill Thwacky, but I should have just clicked sub. It's going to end up being okay here, though, because they can't do enough with how high we are. So now I can get behind a sub on the predicted U-turn. Even close combat wasn't doing a whole lot to where we would have still been able to substitute up. So now we're in front of an Umbreon. Here, I could have went up to +4, played the substitute games. But once again, I was kind of just in a rush. In the nicest way, a lot of their moves had just been taking a long time, and I was kind of in a rush to get in with the battle, but also just like I felt like I pretty well had it. I wasn't really thinking things through. The smart play may have been to calc what a foul play could do here, because foul play would have taken my attack, but also with my defense and me resisting it, I probably wouldn't have broken sub. I just really didn't want to mess around with that, so I just clicked power up since I had the grassy terrain on my side. Though I was pretty sure power up always killed if it hit, but so now they get to go in here to this. I think I probably just click U-turn again. Okay, and this is another good chance to get up to +4. The importance of +4 is unless it crit, I think we could have always not had sub broken by a U-turn. But at the same time, I didn't want them to... I couldn't remember if they were Rocky Helmet or not, and I didn't want them to get the chance to roost and keep this alive to keep pivoting. So I just go ahead and click Darkest Lariat. Take my chance to just kill this. +4, not a huge deal because I'm still behind a sub. Once again, they're going to go Urshifu. They just kind of have to keep U-turning and hope that I'm going to misplay. So I do get behind a sub here. Here I'm faster, so I get to click Darkest Lariat. That's going to kill. And you can kind of see where this is going. This is going to be a 6-0 for Zarude, which is pretty exciting. Zarude has not come to a whole lot of matches, but it has done some serious work. Like I said, we live a close combat, and we just get to click Lariat. We don't even have to worry about missing. So we get a 6-0 just sweep from Zarude. Kind of view their team here. They did have the heavy-duty boots on Skarmory, so I'm glad I didn't bring hazards. They had Assault Vest again on Slowking. Last time they didn't have anything for... no stab moves, very interesting. But last time they didn't have anything for Jirachi. This time they made sure to have Flamethrower, the Eviolite Thwacky. Pretty tough to kill with also having Leech Seeds. So the Choice Scarf for Urshifu, and then what's Abadu? Oh, okay. So then an interesting no attack set on Umbreon, but that could have kept other teammates alive. And then more of what looks like probably a bulky Charizard that could still obviously hit very hard. Had Blaze, but obviously Tough Claws when it Mega Evolves. And then you see my team. We have to do those after each match to make sure no one cheated on the item clause. But real quick, I just want to show you my team. I wasn't really thinking, and for some reason, I closed out instead of just opening up the window. But just looking real quick at my team, this is where we were heading into the finals. I just wanted to look at Zarude. You know, you kind of look at my team, and Lando I pops off the board. It's banned in a lot of leagues. Megalop is a huge threat, and it's the only mon that came every week. Quagsire, Blastoise, Moltres were all kind of defensive staples. Jirachi, you know, has a lot of stuff it can do, though I don't feel like I used it very well. And then my things that have come a few times, you know. But Zarude had only come 4 times up to this point. And after its 5th match, it's up to 12 kills and only 1 death. Kind of cool, man. Kind of cool how well it's done. And that kind of does just show how other mons can take pressure away. Zarude wasn't expected in a few matches to be that big of a deal because other things were bigger threats. So we can kind of look here. Obviously, ignore the Minnesota Lycanrocs playoffs because that's not the match we played. We played the Kinky Kartanas. We got our +6 win. So what's going to happen here is the Spine-Chilling Gengar were also able to pull off a win against my man BB, unfortunately. So he's been eliminated. The Spine-Chilling Gengar, that puts them up to 6-3. I think it was a 3-0 win, so differential doesn't really matter at this point because they had a better record than me. So they will play the Charlotte Mega Hornets, puts us at 5-4 plus 12, and we are going to be playing the Bilbao Bidoof. So real quick, if we do want to just look at their team, we're obviously not going to do much of a team builder yet, but just to remind who all they've got, like I said, points in this league are wild. When they go up to 20, looking at the things like Corviknight, Tapu Lele are 15 points. That's not very much. Mamoswine and Haxorus are 12 and 13. Those things hit so hard. Look at all the breakers. Obstagoon, Mega Charizard Y bringing in some weather, hitting super hard. And then the two grass types, Boltund being super low isn't that big of a deal, but that's still like, these are all still really good value mons. Crawdaunt hits crazy hard. So they have just a huge array of physical breakers, but they also have Gengar, Tapu Lele, Charizard Y, Corviknight, which is very hard to kill, and Amoonguss, which is very hard to kill. And Chestnut can be a pretty good wall too. So you essentially have like 3 walls and just breakers for days. So going to be a tough team. They've had a very good season. In fact, I think were some of their losses pretty early. So they lost to the Charlotte Mega Hornets. That was actually a different team. And they lost to Spine-Chilling Gengar, who really we beat them pretty soundly early on, but they really caught fire since then. So, but obviously we took the L to the Bilbao Bidoof. I hope I'm saying that right. So I'm looking forward to playing them in the second round of the playoffs. Like I said, I know I got frustrated with this league. Like I said, no matter what happens, I hope to win this and make the championship and bring home the championship. No matter what happens, I probably will not be rejoining this league the next year, if they even want me. Maybe they were mad that I complained a little. Maybe they don't think I make the cut. I do believe this division's being cut, and they're going to go back to only 3. So initially my plan was to try to move up to one of the higher divisions. Obviously, have not done that well in this to even expect that. But even if I were, probably wouldn't. But I still want to bring home the championship win. That's still an exciting thing. Did want to do one more little update, just looking at my team. Real quick, I want to bring up something that's just really funny. It actually has nothing to do with anything. But a fun fact about me is, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm about to play in a conference championship game, whatever you want to call it. A semifinal round is a better way to call it. All the times that I've had mediocre seasons, barely squeaked into a playoffs, all the times that I've gotten bounced in round 1 of the playoffs, which has been every time I've made the playoffs in MPDL other than 1 year, doesn't matter. In every league I've ever been in, I've never lost a semifinal match. It was just something that hit me the other day. I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? In season 2 of the MPDL, I won my semifinal match, made the championship. I lost. And then TPA all 3 seasons, I won all 3 semifinal matches. So I'm 4 for 4 in semifinal matches. Can I make it 5 for 5 in this league? It's going to be tough. But something I wanted to point out is that our TPA matches got plugged in. So I'd already gotten a CCS score boost from making the playoffs in the MPDL last year and having some wins over pretty good coaches. Not to mention the boost that had happened earlier from the IPL Open. But I got my TPA first 3 seasons put in, so that boosted us up to above a 0.2 before we went on a little losing skid, which my score will bump up a little too because I made the playoffs in this league and I got a playoff win, so that's going to help. But if you go to just not the league coach leader. If you go to the coach leaderboard, I got bumped up quite a bit. Probably not where I deserve to be, but it was just exciting to see myself get higher. When I first started checking CCS, I think I was in like the 1400s. So I worked hard to bump up. Right now I'm at 231. At one point I was up at 187. So there's probably plenty of coaches up here who are way better than me. That's just something I was excited about. I haven't uploaded in a while, so I wanted to show that because let's be real, probably never going to be this high again. Well, like I said, all these battlers are quite a bit better than me, but I am excited to see if my score gets bumped up, see what I can do next week. This has been a long video, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, Competitive content for the future is just kind of up in the air. I might do some more. I might not. Either way, I don't think too many people are going to be too disappointed because it's not a huge thing. But we'll just see. But I do plan on doing other different fun videos for sure on the channel. Regardless of what happens, I want to thank you for stopping by. Have yourself a wonderful night.